Most of the government's early work on UFOs was secret or top secret. There were a number of reasons for this. One was that we thought we were looking at Soviet activity. The second reason was really that the Ministry of Defence is, as you would imagine and expect, an inherently secretive organisation. The Ministry of Defence receives more Freedom of Information Act requests on UFOs than any other subject, including the war in Iraq or Afghanistan. Those 12,000 sightings are, we know, only the tip of the iceberg. Many people who see a UFO won't report to anyone, either because they fear that they'll be ridiculed or they feel that they won't be believed. So when we talk about 12,000 reports in the MOD's archive, we can speculate with a reasonable degree of certainty that the real figure is certainly over 100,000.
I'm on my way to visit Win, the crop circle guy. Now, if there's anyone who fits the description of a UFO fanatic, it's this gentleman. He's been filming the skies above his house every single night for 15 years. I hope he's just going to show me the edited highlights.
Here he is, look at him. Such a mad cat, isn't he? Such a mad cat. How are you, son?
Welcome to Chateau d'Espair.
Lovely to see you, son. Lovely to see you. Well, it's a bit remote, isn't it? So you sort of set cameras up every night on your property?
We stick them out here in the garden.
Every single night, yeah?
Every single night that I'm here.
Wow.
The cameras go out here.
Absolutely.
And they just run all night.
And you've caught some activity on these cameras?
I've caught a lot of things on these cameras over the last few years.
Brilliant. What's this number here?
That's a robotic tracking telescope.
A robotic tracking telescope.
It is indeed, sir.
Wow.
This is what I film the stuff on the moon with. This is what I sit and watch every morning, just watch stuff go by. There'll be 8 hours on each machine. We'll fast forward them back. That will take like an hour to watch through.
What, you just sit there, you just fast forward it?
Yeah, while you're working or having your breakfast and doing all that kind of stuff, making your phone calls, you're just watching it spooling through on both screens. So that's like 4 hours a day.
It takes like 4 hours,
so say 25 hours a week, week in, week out, 50 weeks of the year. It's a lot of work.
The thing is, you've got to look at the screen, no, because like you're saying you're having a bit of breakfast or if you take you out, you're going to miss something.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer to watch Soccer AM whilst I'm having my toast, but Win's dedication has paid off.
If you watch this carefully, okay, you'll see there'll be a black disc, black triangle. We'll actually now try and push that out of the way. It's actually going to prod it. It's the most astounding bit of footage I've ever seen. See, it's drawn back now, and it will actually move towards it. There we go, and that backs away. Actually backs away from it. You can see it pushing it.
Just like it, isn't it? Yeah.
It's pushing. That's kind of what you're after, isn't it?
Just, I mean, look at that.
Right, then I'll show you the moon disc now. And you just watch for the bottom left corner, and it'll go by in a second. There it goes. That's the baby. Now, whose is that?
And how fast was that going, to predict?
70 miles a second. That's 140 miles across there, and it covered it in real time in 2 seconds.
Fuck me. Oh.
Win may have got the patience of a saint, but I want to see some alien activity tonight.
I mean, what are you hoping we're going to see tonight?
The first thing we might spot are some balls of light flying around the field.
Okay.
They're usually a telltale.
And they're like an orb, are they?
They are like an orb, but sometimes quite a bit bigger. And then an event occurring.
And then an event. Wow, that's what we want.
That would be good.
Chasing a dream, no, I never pick up the pen. Always assured, but I like it when we pretend.
Well, these are just 2 recorders, one for each camera. And we have 2 power supplies because we need double redundancy. So we have independent power supplies, so if one gets hit, one might survive. You may wonder why I'm using VHS rather than digital.
I was going to say, yeah, old school. But...
These keep ticking.
Yeah.
When other stuff stops. Give me juice, baby.
My ever-changing goals.
You know it's dark now, but that's how that looks on the camera now.
I think he loves them.
Powerful cameras these on me.
Yeah, these are powerful, completely weatherproof.
Look at that, that's a proper little contraption you've got there, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the real deal. There'll be a colour one on the dash, in case anything happens to these.
It cost you a few quid, this gear you've got here with.
Yeah, it's cost me well over 20 grand over the years in just
20 bags, yeah.
cameras and kind of stuff.
I love it, look at it in there, look. He's on it, twitching away, he's got his eye on everything, 4 different cameras.
This is my bed for the night.
I'm not sure I'm up for all this hanging about, just waiting for something to happen. If aliens were on Twitter, we could ask them to come and say hello. After all, if it's true that they're sending messages down to Earth, surely they would be trying to communicate with us.
And in 1954, George King, who at that time was a taxi driver, claimed that he was contacted by telepathy by these advanced beings who inhabited Venus, Mars and various other planets in the solar system, who spoke to him via telepathy and said, prepare yourself, you are about to, you've been called to take your place in the Interplanetary Parliament. And from that point onwards, he started to receive telepathic messages, and he actually began channeling these messages through his own voice.
Now, who is going to speak through you this evening, if you can get in touch?
Intelligence from the planet Venus, who we call Ethereus.
Right. Will you now try to go into a trance for us?
I will try. Good evening.
Good evening.
My dear friend.
Your name is?
I am known as Ethereus.
You could be from Venus. I could be from
We're saying that the Star of Bethlehem was a UFO. Absolutely, definitely. We're also saying that UFOs are reported in different ways in many parts of the Bible, the Holy Bible. In Operation Prayer Power, everybody comes together. We have a prayer team who are approaching the battery, putting their hand up against the aperture of that battery. Everyone is using the mantra to send energy through them while they pray. This is where we have direct cooperation with beings from other planets.
Are the planetary ones?
That energy is stored in that battery, and then later on, of course, we can use that to bring healing and peace to the world.
And wondrous glory. His divine heritage.
I think communicating with aliens for the good of humanity is fantastic, but I wonder if getting in touch with that lot up there could increase my chances of seeing some hard evidence. I've had a call from Phil in Shropshire. He's hoping to start up an intergalactic powwow tonight.
Phil, it's probably safe to say, is obsessed with the idea of aliens, with the idea of, you know, people from other planets, you know, making contact with us. So what he does is he goes to the top of a hill, another hill. There's always hills involved, I don't know why. But he's going to go to the top of a hill with some friends of his, people I think that claim to have been abducted, and he's going to try and make contact. You know, let's see what happens. Maybe tonight's the night.
I finally gave myself a time to see you. I finally gave myself a time to see you for a while.